part of your course will have a Netlab component. And what Netlab is a real neat program which has hands-on labs you can connect to on campus or at home. And we've got stuff from security to Windows operating systems. And I just want to show you a little bit on how it will work. So if you open up a web browser, I've got Firefox open here, and you type in https // netlab, no s, netlab.carteret.edu, just like you see here, and hit enter. It'll take you to, you can see a overhead shot of the college in the bay. It'll come up to a login screen here. At this login screen, it's either going to be what's before the @ sign in your email address, or it's going to be your entire email address. So people this semester who have a new account, it'll be your full email address to log in. Your initial password will be capital P password 1. So the number 1. So capital PASSWORD number 1. Just the P is capped. No spaces. So let me show you a little bit how it works. So it's my username, Martin K. I'm going to hit login. And of course it'll be a little different from me because I'm logging in as an instructor. So after you get, the password 1, what it'll do is make you, the Netlab site will make you change the password to something which you'll remember, so you can reset it to yourself. So once you finally do get the password portion resolved, then you'll be into a screen that looks very similar to this one. So if I click here and do the drop down, you see new lab reservation. And, again, obviously you're not going to see the instructor-led training or that. But I'm going to do schedule a lab for myself. And again, you're not going to see all of these. You'll just see, 1, or maybe 2 or 3. So let me show you with this one here, this top one. If I click on it, then what it does is show you all the labs within this CSSIA Windows 10 administration course. So let's just pick one and give it a try. So if I come down to let's say this lab 3 one, I'll click on it. It'll take me then to, you'll see a calendar, and you can pre-schedule stuff. But usually, if you're here, you're going to set it up probably so you can log in immediately and get started on it. So you'll see different pods, and if I scroll across, I set up about 10 of them for each one, each course. So let me scroll on back. So you'll see, right now it's 7:35, and this line here, what I would do, if you're logging in, you want to use, start using the lab immediately. It doesn't matter. The pods are all separate courses, so you can pick whichever one you want. I'll pick this pod 1102. And what I would do is get my mouse pointer right up to that line as close as I can and left click. And what you'll see is then again pod 1102, and again saying instructor, but it would say student for you. You say your name reserved for, say what the lab exercise is, Eastern time, and you'll see the start time. And again, that's right about what time I'm doing this recording. And you'll see it's set for 43 minutes. So first off, what I would say is come here and extend it a bit. Maybe, and you can keep extending it, by the way, but let's move it to 2200. And that now gives me 2 hours and 13 minutes. So I'll click submit, and then I'll click OK. And now you see all those details. And again, I could create a new lab if I wanted, but I'll just click the Enter Lab. And what happens is in the background, it's going to load some virtual machines. This is a Windows 10 based course, so it's going to be Windows 10 virtual machines it's going to create. And you'll see it's now up and ready to go. What you can see is the topology. That's what the screen is here, just showing you there's a server involved. It might be a 2012 Windows server. There's PC1 and PC2. So if I click here on content, you'll see that is the actual course. I'll tell you, you can keep coming back to here, but what I would say is download it, and then I would open it with Acrobat. That way I can kind of, I don't have to keep, click on a PC, come back to content, whichever way you find it easy. I find it easier to do this. We'll shrink that up some. And there again is the topology, and then this is important. Windows 10 PC1, and there's a PC2, and you see their IP address. You see what the login is. It's student, and it's capital T RAIN number 1 NG $ for the passwords for all of these. The only thing different is the 2012 server has administrator as the user account. Okay. So let me jump back over here, and what I'll do is, well, let's see what the first step is. That might be the best thing we can do here. We'll say access the system window on PC1. So to say, click on the PC1 icon from the topology page to access the Windows 10 client. Or just come here and click on PC1. Then if you click in the screen, you see then that login comes up, and I'll click in here. It's capital T, so I'm going to do Shift T. I've noticed some things with the cap locks might not work so great, so you might want to use a Shift T for there. Small letter R, small a, small I, small n, number 1, N, G, then I'm going to go Shift 4 for the $, and then hit Enter. And you'll see now we've got a version of Windows 10 in here. So just a virtual machine. So if I go back to my PDF, it says log into the system. Again, tells you what the username and the password is here. Access the system utility. Right click on the start menu and select system. So I'm going to come down here to the start. Right click, and then you see system right there. And you see a lot of good information about the operating system. It's Windows 10 Pro, and the computer name, again PC1, and a few other things, and information such as that. So if I go back to my instructions, in the system utility, click Advanced System Settings. So down here, and we've got things like performance, user profiles, and startup and recovery. So what it's going to do is along the way, what I want you to do is, show that you are doing the labs. So how do you do that? You can do a screenshot. So the cool thing within this program is it's built in. It's not like you have to do the screenshot utility in Windows. So if I come up here and click on PC1, and you can see down here, take screenshot, and submit. I could put notes in if I wanted, but submit. And again, it'll tell you here, screenshot of PC1 complete, and so forth. So again, then it's just a matter of going through, following the steps, completing it. It's not that long. There's questions what needs to be answered, and finish it up. Take the screenshots when necessary. If you want, you could do, maybe Notepad within here. Just open up Notepad and answer the questions within there. Then all you'd have to do is go back to the PC, one, screenshot, submit it, and then you could have the answers built in right to there. So anyway, this is a quick introduction. Well, one more thing on how to shut it down. If I come up here to Martin K, I can log out, but probably more importantly is we want to free up this pod for others to use it. So if I go reservation, here's where you can request more time if it's running down, and I can end reservation now. So I'll do that. I'll say yes, and that is it for the Netlab introduction.